Okay, welcome to the Monday edition of, it's always Monday, handcrafting micro tools. This is actually the speed edition. Um, I have limited time today, and in support of um, strong habit building, I want to do this anyway. So I'm going to set a timer for 30 minutes and see if I can build this project in that time. So what we're doing is um, Any Pineapple 9955 asked on Reddit about this volleyball team case where we've got tournaments of players of two per team. They want to be able to assign players to teams. They don't have to be on the same team for each tournament. And players are, it looks like, gender just male, female, and I think players have to be co-ed. Uh, no, maybe not men's and women's beach volleyball teams from a drop-down list of gender sorted names. So I actually don't think I understand the rule around gender for this. And that would be an important part. So I have asked for additional information. We'll see if we get back. If not, I'll just build what I build. Okay, so, all right, hitting start. Here we go. Coda.new. And we're going to need 3 tables to start. This happened last time. I think it's my connection when I've got OBS screen capture up, is that the dock sort of freezes on uh, creation, and then if I refresh, it usually says, yeah, found a problem, and then I have to reload. Okay, we need 3 tables for sure, and those 3 tables are uh, tournaments. We need a table for teams. We need a table for players. And why don't we make a table for genders while we're at it? Okay, so I'm going to start here, call this gender. We'll say male, female, and LGBTQ gender acronym. LGBTQIA2S plus. Plus. Is that an I or a 1? I think it's I. Intersex. Yep. Okay. And we'll leave that one there just in case. So the name of these players is Joe, Jane, Jesse, Jefferson, uh, Jenny. Let's see here. Why don't I do this? Let's see. No, I don't want. I want AI. Find action items. What in the world? Give me a list of male and female, starting with J. Use my own. Use my own table. Okay, I've got a few here. James. Where'd James go? Jacob. Joshua, and we'll do Jessica, Jennifer, and Judith. Okay, so now what we need to do here is add, I think I recall seeing email, Let me see if I can just say Joe at Joe. I'm not going to fill those out. Okay, and then here we need gender and single select. All right, so it got male, female, male. I guess Jefferson is male, female, male, female, female, female. Okay. We have one too many males, so Jefferson, you're actually no, James is gone. All right, so now we have teams. We have a team name. I'm gonna do players, and we'll call this one player one, and then let's see. Here's what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna say I think this is how it goes. So I'm gonna say genders, and I'll actually say gender because I think we've got separate male and female teams. So what will happen is we'll say team name is dudes, and the gender will be male, and then this player one, we're going to go into the edit column and so there's two ways to do this. One, I could say you have to declare the gender of the team in advance, and then the two player columns will only show you people who are male, or you can have the player selects be wide open, and then the gender column will decide based on which players you pick if it's male, female, or co-ed. But I think this is, let me just see if there's any update here. None. Okay, I think I'm going to say gendered volleyball tournaments. Okay, we got a little volleyball player there. All right, I'm going to say it's this. Okay, so in that case, edit column, if we go down to the options settings, I do want it ascending, so that'll put it in alphabetical order. And I want to filter where genders equal gender. That's nice. And I don't want to allow new options to be added there. All right, so now it's only letting me see the male players. If I select female, it's only letting me see the female players. Okay, so now I can just duplicate, and this is player 2. And then I'll probably do a third players column just in case it says it's going to be lookup or like a fill values. And we'll say list combine player 1, player 2. Okay, and we'll call this all players. All right, now up to the tournaments. We've got the name of the tournament, tournament name, November Indoor Invitational. And we probably want to put date. Okay, so it's like, when is it going to be? It'll be this weekend. We'll say date start, date end, and it'll be equal to, I don't know why I'm doing that. It doesn't have to be equal to anything. So it's just Saturday and Sunday. And then we want to say teams. All right, so now we can pick which teams we want here. So let me see again here. Trying to select players to make men's and women's beach volleyball teams. Drop down list of names. Ideas to have a page of tournaments with a column for teams. Each team made of 2 people. Okay, so one thing that we would do here then, so you'd select the teams who are registered. Maybe how do we want to do this? How do you want to identify that a team is going to register for a tournament? I mean, the easiest way is just to select your teams from here. Dudes, dudettes, guys, and gals. And so this will be female, male, female. Okay, and actually another thing to do for player 2 select is we can say, you don't really need to, but just for fun, we can amend the option settings here to also include not someone who's already been selected for player 1. So current value genders equals gender, and current value does not equal player 1. All right, so now if I go dudes, Jacob and Jefferson, and then we've got Jane, Jennifer, guys are Jesse and Joe, and then these gals are Jenny and Jessica. All right, so now you can choose for teams at a column, multiple select. Teams who are playing are all 4 of them. And then the team, what I can do is reverse this column, create a 2-way relation. So now that shows up on the teams. So if you were to open up the teams row, you see they're called dudes, they're male, the players, and then the tournaments that they're playing at. And then we can do the same for, let's see, which do we want to make the column here? Maybe I'll just do a separate lookup column here and say, if I say teams, and show me, this would be everybody, and I'll just do a calculation for this one to say teams.filter where current value is in all players. No. Okay. Teams where all players contains this row. That was it. I think it's because I used current value. Right. Okay, so now on a player row, you can see the player, their email. It should be genders. It should be gender. and their teams. And so now you could also have another team for dads and moms. This time, so that's male, that's female. We'll do Jacob again, but this time partner is Joshua. Moms will be Jennifer, and this time Judith. Okay, and then we'll do the December parents vacation journey. And we'll put this on the 7th and 8th. And we're going to do dads and moms. And now you can see Jacob is on both dudes and dads. And if you want, you can also bring in tournaments. I mean, I guess if I go here and say add related column, I can take the tournaments value. And then we can see which tournaments are in. So now I can go to Jacob. I can see Jacob's played in both, or playing in both. And if we wanted to, we could do like a player page where we had a relation player page select. We'll say players, no multiple selections. This is just nope, not going to do that. Going to do it like yeah, there's two ways to do this player page thing. We do it like this and say, okay, show me Jacob. Then down here we could have a tournaments table. And we have this as a calendar, say, and we'd want to filter it. Let's go back to here. On the tournament page, did I include, right, okay, so up on tournaments, let's add the related column for all players. And I mean, all this is doing is just, this isn't creating new data, right? This is just looking up to the teams who have already been assigned to a tournament and saying, who's on these teams? Show me the all players from each one of these teams and jam them in this column. Because now what we can do on the player page is filter this tournament where all players contains, and I want a formula here. We'll say all players dot contains player page select. All right, so I've got the November indoor, but who wasn't on there? I think it was like Judith, right? Yeah, see, Judith isn't playing in November. Judith is playing in December. Okay. There's Judith. Okay, so you can do that. I call this player tournaments. And if we wanted, we could also have teams. So bring up teams here. And again, we want to filter this, filter formula to say all players dot contains player page select. Player teams. All right. And we could have a little button here that says open row player page select. just say go. Where's my go button? No, that's not good enough. Use a little X-ray button. Let's say see player details. Get a little green action here, and we can say on this side, select player, and we'll put this maybe in a call out. And I want it big. And blue. No, I'm going to remove that. One thing I almost always do in the advanced is remove every time, put it only for errors, because then you don't get that annoying pop-up every time. Open, see player details. Okay, now we'll make the player details a little nicer. Where let's large center for their name, email, gender, center those, center teams is good, tournaments is good. Okay, so then the teams, I guess that's fine. Can wrap the text on some of these so that they look a little better. All right, edit. I like to hide the column link. Okay, that's Judith. And I mean, if you really want, you can go back to the tables page and put, like an image here. And then if you had Judith, I don't know who Judith Butler is. Oh, an American philosopher. Go get. That might not be appropriate. Judith. Oh, Judith Barcy. Great. So I can save image and then okay. Oh, that's Joe. Let's see how do I do this now. X and where's Judith? Down here, paste. Great. When I open up the Judith row, now up at the top, I can put image and move it up to the top. And then I don't want to fill width. Let's do a medium and no label. Okay. So now we've got Judith. I could probably take the name bit out because that's kind of self-evident. Actually, I might move the name up above the person. All right, so there's Judith, email, gender, teams, tournaments. And you can even on the player page, once you've selected the player, you can say equals player page select dot image. And oh, that's really tiny. Okay. And there's Judith's image. All right, how are we doing for time? 6 minutes left. What do we want to do in 6 minutes? Go back and check this page just in case. Annie Pineapple 9955, no reply. Okay. To be able to select player one, player two, and then those players become one of several teams in that tournament. All right, so the way this works then, and I'm going to do this, I'll say backend. I'm not going to do that. I'm just going to say players and teams and tournaments and what else do we have? Genders. And now we're going to take all these tables off, put them over on individual pages, and just kind of generally clean things up a bit. All right, so it's like workflow, add people, add players, add players, and then it's add teams and populate with players, and that's going to happen on at teams, and then it's create tournaments and add teams, and that's going to be on at tournaments. Then it will be view player profiles, so I'll call this player profiles. Volleyball is cool. I love volleyball. Now I'm going to do backend pages and put my little, what was it, hide? There it is. Okay, get those out of the way. Player profiles, volleyball is cool. And player. Oh, and the only other thing that I would do, I think, is on the player profile. Let's add a button here to see on open row, no, run actions. Set the control value on the player page to this row. So it's like modify that drop down on player profiles to be whoever we're sitting on, and then open window at player. I can't remember how to do that. Let's do it this way. I'm going to copy the link to the page and just put it in there. Okay, and this will be C on C player profile. C player profile. Okay, so now that little button up there doesn't really make as much sense because you're going to go into here, which I don't really think is as maybe it is. So you've seen your player details. So now when you're in your player details, Edit the layout of this. See player profile. Okay. And done. See player profile will take you to Judith. And if we happen to be on Jefferson, yep, it pushed Jefferson. There's no picture, but here's Jefferson's teams. Only thing I notice is I have forgotten to change this to only for errors. Done. The only other thing I might do is add a page for all players. What are we at here? 40 seconds. So we'll bring in players, use cards for this, hide columns. There's Joe, Judith, and we'll do C player profile. Maybe the teams? Yeah, I might change the player profile button to a different color just so it pops out a bit. Great. So now that's it. That's 30 minutes. I could see all players, and that will open up on the player profile. So volleyball is cool. So view player profiles. So it's like all players or player profiles. Okay, so seeing Joe is going to bring up. Was Joe on two teams? I thought Joe was on two teams. Oh, Jacob and Joshua are on the second team. Joe's only on the guys team. Okay, that's right. Cool. All right, so now what we'll do is we will share and publish, start publishing. I'm going to allow anyone to publish mode, edit, no, play, but you can copy it. Audience is anyone on the internet, and publish, close. Let's see, appearance. I don't have a doc cover photo. Get settings, sign up modal. All right, actually probably should top cover photo on. We're gonna call this volleyball tournament selection, and I'll call this volleyball tournament selection, and let's find an awesome volleyball. Oh man, that is perfect. Okay, just need to get the ball in there, and we're done. All right, Annie Pineapple 9955. I'll share the published link now. Let's just say reply. Here's the doc link. I'll post the build vid shortly. All right. Ciao.